Hey there, I'm the MadCatster. Am I glad to see you here? Well, we finally have some more details about the Ace family's new rental house, which we know is a step down for them, and we've got some confirmatory evidence about that. We're going to talk about it, so let's get into it. So I'm here with Sybil the Enforcer, who's feeling pretty good today, and I've been feeding her deli turkey slices because her mouth has bothered her a little bit, but not that bad. And she goes bananas for sliced turkey breasts. I shredded up for her bits of turkey breast, and she just woofs it down. So I want to make sure that we keep her nutrition up and make sure that we don't get any other complications. And it seems to be working because she did eat her treats tonight too. We had some goodies arrive from Amazon, and I'm going to talk to you about them at the end of the video, so please stay tuned. But anyways, let's talk about the Ace family's come down from their last two houses and the new information that we've got about just how much they're paying for rent and where their house is probably located. So the Ace family, we followed them through their ups and downs for them fleeing their landlords. I mean, moving from rental house to rental house. And we saw them get foreclosed when they built that Franken mansion in the sky, when they took two pre-existing houses and God knows why decided that they would smush them together and make them even bigger than they already were because they were both good-sized houses. And we saw how that ended up. They ended up with a big mess and a foreclosure. And so then they moved into a house where they were paying $50,000 a month, which is just absurd when you're paying rent for your house more than some people make an entire year. That's when you have to stop yourself and say, are we just wasting our money? And instead of buying a house, they stayed in that rental house. And then they just recently, as we saw and I talked about, and check out my videos about the move, they threw their stuff in trash bags and dashed to a new house, which now we've learned and gotten it confirmed. We knew they were renting, but they are renting a house which apparently TMZ reported is a $5 million, well, they call it a mansion. I don't know that I'd call this particular house a mansion, but it's a big house, but it's not like gigantic by any stretch. And they're paying $20,000 a month, which for a lot of people, still quite a huge amount of money to be paying just to rent a place to live. And certainly, I still think is beyond their means, in my opinion. They're not seeing nearly the views they used to see on YouTube, so I don't know where the money's coming from. They've definitely had a step down, and it's certainly not a house to sneeze at, as I told you when we talked about the house tour, because it's quite a nice house, and I certainly would be very happy there, but I'm certainly not in the position to pay 20 grand a month for rent. And thank you, I own a very adequate house for me. I own a little Victorian that I happen to like, and for me and the cats, it's plenty big enough. But so they're renting this house for 20 grand a month. Now TMZ, and I'm going to show you pictures here. TMZ has better pictures because remember when they took us on the tour, it was really kind of a lame tour. It was like they showed us just a little bit, but most of the video was them just going back and forth, bantering, and it was like, time filler or something. But they didn't really give us that good of a tour, I didn't think. TMZ very kindly provided some better still photos of the inside and outside of the house, and I'm going to put those up here so you can take a look. But again, it's a very nice house. It's smaller, I think, than the last one. Certainly smaller than their McMansion on a hill. To me, it's still a waste of money. Not that there's anything wrong with renting. And in my last house video about them, somebody made a comment about making it sound like I was putting down people who rented. It's like, no, you missed the point of the video. I'm not putting them down because they rent. I mean, we've all rented. I rented before I was fortunate enough to be able to buy a house. But I still have a mortgage, which is essentially rent. I'm not putting them down because they're renting. And I want to reiterate this. I know I said this a million times, but I'm not putting them down, rather taking issue with the fact that they have had very poor business sense, in my opinion, and should be living in a house that they have been able to buy outright and live in. And I think, in my opinion, if they had done things with a better management of their finances, they would be in a house that they could have paid for and not be doing this hop from expensive rental to expensive rental. So I'm simply criticizing the fact that I think that if they had managed their finances better with the kind of income they were making on YouTube, they should have been able to buy a nice house outright. And they may even have been able to buy a $5 million house. I don't know. It certainly would have made much more sense to have bought a house like this 3 years ago rather than go through all the nonsense that they've gone through. And, essentially, every month they're paying $20,000 is just going out the window. But that's their lot in life, and they've made their choices. We can't turn back the clock, people, so we'll just move forward. But anyways, you can see, in these still photos, it's a nice house. Again, I would love to live there. It would certainly be a dream house for me. And I'm sure most of you would agree. If somebody said, here's this house, I'd be like, thank you very much. But again, I wouldn't certainly, even if I could afford it, I don't think I'd be spending $20,000 a month renting it when I could own something if I was in that financial position. But the interesting thing about this house is TMZ says it's in Hollywood. I don't know if that's to throw people off their scent. Remember in one of my videos, I don't think it was the house tour one. I think it was the one before that where Catherine was all giddy because they were going to live near a Krispy Kreme. And one of my astute and observant viewers pointed out that in Los Angeles, really the closest Krispy Kreme would be the one in Burbank, which is on the other side of the Hollywood Hills. So they're not in Hollywood as far as I can determine from what they've said. So again, I don't know whether TMZ's trying to throw people off their scent or if the Ace family is purposely giving out information to sort of confuse people. But if they're living near a Krispy Kreme, it's not in Hollywood. It would have to be in Burbank or Studio City or somewhere over the rainbow. I think $20,000 a month is ridiculous to be paying to rent a house. What do you think? Tell me in the comments down below. But like I said, it's a very nice house. I'm certainly not dissing the house. I'm not criticizing them for the house they're living in. I'm not criticizing them for renting. I'm simply saying that had they had managed their YouTube success better, I think they could be living in a house like this and own it outright and not even be paying rent at all. But again, they've made their choices. So anyways, that's the update. Let me know what you think in the comments. Sybil says, thanks for joining us. Thanks to all of our supporters. And I want to give some special thanks to people who sent us. We got several packages from Amazon recently. I want to say a very big thank you to Laureen K, who is one of our Amazon superstars. And she is definitely the superstar this month. She sent the cats one of the nice hooded litter boxes. And what I do is I periodically, like at least once a year, I will get rid of the old litter boxes, because after a while, those plastic boxes, they absorb smells. I don't care what they say they're treated with. I like to get rid of them. I mean, when you have 15 cats, the boxes get a lot of use. So I like to replace all of them. There's I think I have 9 litter boxes or 10 litter boxes once a year, just to start fresh and have a fresh litter box. So in addition to the litter box, Laureen K was very thoughtful and sent us a box of the lightweight Tidy Cats litter. So thank you very much, Laureen K. I also want to give a big thanks to JoJo, who sent us a case of Frisky's wet cat food. I really appreciate that. I appreciate the food and everything so much, and the cats are so happy with all the stuff you guys send. So thank you. And if you want to be thanked in the next video or the video after that, if you want to pick something for the cats, the wish list is down in the description, and you just click the link. And someone was asking me, well, where do I send it? It's like, well, Amazon takes care of everything. If you want to send something, you choose something to send, and Amazon automatically processes it and sends it to Sybil. Sybil, the enforcer, is the keeper of the gift, so it'll go right to Sybil. But anyways, thank you to all of our supporters. I started to edit my short videos from my trip to LA. I'll be putting those up for the channel members and the Patreon members. Thank you guys. Your support means so much to us. Very, very much. We love all of you so much. And also, thank you to all the people who have sent us stuff from the Amazon list. Thank you so much. All of the support. Occasionally, I get a super thanks, and it really makes this worth doing and makes the cats happy and makes me feel like, I made a good decision when I started this channel. So thank you so much for all your support. I want to say thank you so much to all of you. You guys all take care of yourselves, and we will see you in the next one.
Pretty please. Subscribe, like, and hit the bell. I get a treat for every new sub. Thank you.